We now return to Etc. 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 And here's your host, Nicole Jacinto.
Okay, welcome back, folks. And Lita Ramos is on the line and she wants to join us, so let's put her on. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Nicole.
Good afternoon, Lita. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Good afternoon to John and Ino.
Yes,
Hi,
John and
Lita.
Ino.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And it's really not, I'm not really personally concerned of this, but first you said you use it, those remote control helicopters, you use it for pleasure, then you thought of having it commercially.
Yes.
Because I heard over the radio about Pentagon warning those remote controlled helicopters because they're afraid that it could be used by enemies. You admit that?
Well, I think that
Not really, because the range of the remote controlled helicopters are quite short.
yes.
It's actually a line of distance range.
As you said earlier,
But could it be true that there are other companies using it to spy on, for example, the Pentagon, like the Pentagon is trying to warn the Americans right now?
Well, I think that could be true, Lita, but governments would be doing that to other governments or
Yes.
other countries. That
but
would be
you
like
have to take into
CIA
context that
grade.
we're in the Philippines.
Yeah.
That people won't spend that much to do
Yes.
all sorts of things.
No, locally, no.
Mm-hmm.
Could your remote-controlled helicopters be used to spy on the Abu Sayyaf, for example?
Interesting.
So
But you'd have to be within, for the helicopters that they make, they'd have to be
to
a kilometer.
to photograph the location of those Abu Sayyaf
Mm-hmm.
rebels.
I think, Ino, do
I
you want
think it's
to?
possible, but I don't think we're willing to go there.
'Cause for the
Or
Anything
nor
good could be used by the devil also device.
yes,
Yes, yes.
exactly. That's true,
That's
Lita.
just my concern, no? Just sharing.
But I
Thank you
don't
very
think-
much.
Oh,
I
Lita,
hope I listen to you.
stay on the line, Lita.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you, Nicole.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Actually, that's a concern there raised by Lita Ramos, and this is interesting. But what you're saying earlier, Ino, is that for the products that you make specifically, and that because you make them and the services that you give, you have to be within, you have to have a line of sight to the helicopter and be a kilometer away. So you're not willing to go to those areas for the
yeah, and well, as in anything in this world, you could use anything for good or bad, diba? Like I could use my car to kill someone.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah, that's
So-
what Lita was saying. Like the devil could use good things
Yes.
and technology. It's true. But she brings up a good point there. But I'm sure that you guys are not into that field. But I'm pretty sure that governments or other organizations are using similar types of technology
Yes.
to do these things.
The
Anyway.
U.S. military is an example.
Yeah.
They're using their drones. They call it the drones.
Yes.
Wherein, well, that's like super high tech.
Yeah, super high tech.
Yeah, they train pilots that actually operate those drones to do not only surveillance but actually do actual attacks on
Yeah.
on enemy lines.
Yeah, that we know, that's like common knowledge. So
But I'm not
yes.
sure if our government or the Philippine military has the budget to to spend so much on surveillance and to go as far as using it to spy on enemies.
I would think maybe another country with a bigger, like a richer country than ours, probably uses that for their
I'm confident they
operations.
do.
Yes.
Yeah, they do have the
Me
technology.
too. And what Lita Ramos mentioned about the U.S. warning their citizens about, spying on them. I'm pretty sure that she's right about that, and they're right about that. Like
Yeah.
within the U.S., within the borders of the U.S., them taking pictures and stuff. So I'm gonna ask you guys. So you can spy on your neighbor actually, but you guys wouldn't take a job like that.
Well, for one, the neighbor would know
The
because
neighbor
we're
would
using
know.
gasoline helicopters. So,
So it'll
the
smell.
sound will
like-
definitely tip us off.
The sound and then the smell,
The
and then they'll be
smell.
like, "What's that? Oh, it's just flying around. That's nothing. It's a big fly." No, they would know. Okay, and there's all sorts of gadgets. Lita brought up a good point. Like even webcams and stuff. Apparently, it's like everywhere in bathrooms and all of that, in
Oh, yeah.
dressing rooms. Like people.
Because they're easily concealable,
Yeah.
pin type cameras and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, sometimes I worry, I'm like,
That thing looks suspicious.
Yes,
that small dot right
exactly.
there.
That small dot there looks suspicious. Smile for the
Smile,
camera. So let's see. Let's go back to what have you? Okay, so you've been up and running for about a month or more, and you actually tailor make these helicopters for the purpose. It's a purpose. You're saying, you manufacture them for specific purposes. So could someone like come to you and commission? Let's say they wanted to commission your company long term to perform certain acts. That sounds nasty. To perform certain acts. They could commission you to perform certain acts. So they would commission your company to on a long term basis to perform services. That still sounds nasty, but yes, is that possible? Could they ask you to build something for their specific purposes and do that? Let's say a big real estate company or a movie company or something.
Yeah, we can do that for them, but I would not recommend that because operating this equipment would require certain skills, and they would have to put up their own department to operate these equipments. So they might as well rent our service.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that's the thing. What if they will rent your service on a long term? I would recommend that they just rent your service on a long term as well. Like every time they need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're after.
And you could-
that's what
one of
we're
the things
after.
that we're after.
Yeah, and you could tailor make a product for them to fit their their needs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So
correct.
yeah, I mean, why go through the trouble when you already have the experts here, Ino and John? When you already have Spyglass here, why go through the trouble?
Yeah, and the cost to them would be so small compared to the projects that the money that they're spending on their projects.
Yeah, right now using
Billions, to
yeah,
make money.
traditional helicopters and all that. Okay. So if anyone wants to get in touch with Spyglass, again, you can go to info@spyglass.com.ph or you can call John. You ladies out there, you might want to call John just for the sake of calling him, even if you don't want to rent a
Yeah,
helicopter.
that would be nice.
That would be nice. That's 0920-951-9652. How about you, Should any ladies be calling you, somebody will
His
kill
wife
you.
is listening.
The number's enough. Okay. All right. Okay.
So it's big as a big NO.
Big NO. Okay. Well, we're actually out of time. So let me just read the last batch of horoscopes for today. Thank you for calling in, Lita. Lita's always ever vigilant, always thinking of so many different takes that you can have on a simple topic. She sees the good side, the fun side. She also sees the possible dangers, and she can relate it. I've heard Lita on different times calling in when it comes to business, politics, philosophy. She's just so well versed in all these things, as a lot of our listeners and our friends.
There's a lot of
out there.
wisdom in her voice.
Yes, there is a lot of wisdom in her voice. But anyway, let's go to the last few horoscopes for the day before we say bye, before we sign off for the day only. Don't worry, tomorrow we'll be here again. Unless the prediction of the world coming to an end comes true. Anyway, so Sagittarius, you can make all sorts of new connections today thanks to your amazing creative energy. Make sure that you get your people to try whatever it is you're doing to inspire yourself. What are you doing to inspire yourself, Sagittarius? Okay. Capricorn, your plans might not go as well as you had hoped today. Unexpected issues are sure to pop up. If you've got any flexibility, you should be able to maneuver yourself out of trouble. Flexibility is important, but I can't touch my toes. Aquarius, you shouldn't worry about your ambition. In fact, you should cultivate it. Okay, so Aquarius, be ambitious, cultivate your ambition. Your great energy today makes it easier than ever for you to advance your own agenda, so make sure you're out there. Aquarius, get out there and conquer the world and rule it. Rule it well, please. Pisces, your wisdom is indisputable, but it's not always accessible. Okay, so you have to make yourself more available. Today, you should be able to bust out with a few sage words to those in need, but it is entirely up to them what to do with the advice. Okay, so, as they say, you just have to say what you need to say and give the right advice. It's really up to every individual, whether they're going to take it or not. Sometimes you just really can't save someone. We all have to save ourselves. Are there any parting shots that you'd like to make, John and Ino? Because we're actually out of time. And up next is Patrick Tulfo with Hard Talk. Anything you'd like to say?
Well, first of all, we'd like to thank you for having us here, giving us this opportunity to introduce our service, our product to all your wonderful listeners. And we hope that we can do business with you or with your one of your listeners or a few of your listeners
Yes.
someday. And hope to see you again.
Anything you'd like to say?
For those who are interested, just
Go to
call us and find out the range of services that we offer, and find out how
Good
aerial
looking you are.
photography can help your company.
Yeah, find out how good they are. Test them. Go to info@spyglass.com.ph or call John at 0920-951-9652. And, just having a little laugh because your name is John. Call John, yes. All right, well, thanks. Actually, I want to thank you for being here today. I always have fun when I have fun guests and fun things to talk about. You guys are very nice. I can see that you're passionate about what you do. You're happy guys, and I really think that I'm so happy to see that, born out of passion and happiness and fun for a hobby is a viable business that a lot of people can really avail of, and it trickles down. The effect trickles down.
In fact, we think it's a prerequisite. You have to love what you're doing. If you're into something, you have to like it for you to succeed.
That's right. Sounds like marriage. Okay. Anyway, that's my parting shot for the day. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for Patrick Tulfo and Hard Talk. See you again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Same time, same place. DZRJ 8:10 a.m. The Voice of the Philippines.
DZRJ 8:10 a.m. The Voice of the Philippines has just presented Etc. 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 with host Nicole